Hey everyone, welcome back to our fourth series episode of self-love, all things self-love. And today we're going to be focusing on believing in yourself. So let me come on here and add my guest speaker again, Karuna, who's a hypnotherapist, energy healer, coach. Let's see if we can get her on. Yes, here we go. Hey Karuna, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
We have both
Happy
my
holidays.
Christmas theme going on.
It's the beginning of the holidays, so how are you doing so far for the holiday season?
Getting rainy there. Seems like it will start from tomorrow for me. But I'm traveling today, so I think that's a good thing. Getting into the mode of the season.
Yeah. Well, I started introducing yourself, but let's go a little deeper into introducing Karuna. Would you like to go ahead and go a little deeper in what exactly it is that you do?
All right. So I am basically a hypnotherapist, life coach, and I do a lot of different modalities of energy healing. I do past life regression. I do a lot of soul work. And I use traditional tools, but I also have my own tools. And this has been a spiritual journey for me. I shifted careers in 2007. I started shifting in 2008. I went into it full time. So I had the opportunity of trying a new adventure in life. So do you want to do a recap of our session so far?
Yeah, so I was mentioning before you hopped on here that this is our fourth episode. So for those who've missed our previous episodes, you can go back and watch it in the replay under the series All Things Self-Love. So I'll recap. Our last one was all about boundaries and how you find that perfect sweet spot of setting enough boundaries or not setting too much. And then Karuna, if you want to summarize some of the other episodes that we talked about, we can give a big summary of everything we've been doing so far.
Sure. I think we started on December 1st with the series on self-love, and we talked about making love the foundation of our life. Because when we are in love, life is always so much more beautiful, right? So instead of creating and being in love with an outside source, can we love to learn how to be in love with ourselves? Then we can carry that energy of love within ourselves. And using the law of attraction, like energy attracts like energy. So when you are in the higher frequency of love, you're going to invite a lot more beautiful things in your life, right? Because your whole energy self is vibrating at a higher frequency. And we're making an assumption here that people understand that we are energy beings. And if you don't, I have a YouTube video on my channel, Karuna Healing Center on YouTube, which talks about what is energy beings. Anyway, so that was our first episode, and we shared technique in that episode, how to increase self-love. Then we followed it with self-acceptance, which was done the following week, and we talked about how we can learn to accept ourselves wholly. Because the parts of you that you have not accepted are the parts that you're not able to love. And if you really want to love yourself, then you need to learn how to accept those parts of you too, and apply your knowledge and wisdom over those parts to look at those parts at a higher perspective. And then we again share a technique on how to be more self-aware of yourself, so you can learn to accept things. And then last episode, as we talked about setting boundaries, because without boundaries, you really cannot accept things. Without boundaries, it's like you're walking with an energy field that is open, and people can just come and dump their problems in your energy field, or they can come whenever they want and take away your positive energy. So basically, then it becomes difficult for you to control your energy field and feel safe and secure in your energy field, because you can just lose things that you've already created in your energy field. So we talked about setting boundaries, and today we are continuing with that same topic of self-love, but using a different aspect about believe in yourself. And it's a good time of the year, right? Because this is the time of the year which is like about believing in all mystical things too, right? Christmas. So I think this is a great topic to have, is what does it mean to believe in yourself? Right? And does it mean just believing that you are a human being, or does it mean more than that, right? So it's going with our previous theme is, if you learn to know your strengths and weaknesses, then can you believe in your strengths?
I
And
think
most of the time, sorry, go ahead.
I think my favorite part about all of this is like as we each week talk about different topics, we end up realizing that everything is really interconnected, and again
Mhm.
goes back down to the topic of self love and all the components that are a part of it. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Those of you who are live and those of you who are watching the replay. As always, we always like to say, let's make it interactive. So share your biggest insights from your past session, from our past session. Share some questions and we'll start addressing them in the future sessions. And we'd really like to hear your feedback and get this, more of an interactive form of live.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing. We're just sharing thoughts here. We're not really trying to share some massive wisdom or something. We're just sharing our experiences. So I think one of the things I wanted to do is because in this time of the year, people are setting goals for next year, right? So learning how to believe in your goals. Most of the time, we are believing with our mind, which is believing with our conscious mind, which is just 5 to 6% of our brain power. Whereas there is so much subconscious resistance sometimes for us to reach our goals because we don't really believe in our goals so much, right? So sometimes I think when you set goals or when you have things that you want to believe in, you need to believe it with your entire being because 70 to 90% of our communication is nonverbal, scientifically proven. So even though verbally you think you believe in things, but maybe at the subconscious level, you don't believe in it. And that's why I found hypnotherapy so fascinating when I went shifted careers, is because if you can go within your subconscious and change the belief systems that you hold there, it's so much easier than trying to do things with 5 to 6% of your brain power, that is the conscious mind. Because if this is your conscious mind and this is subconscious mind, if this mind you think you believe in things, but this mind doesn't believe in it, then there's a conflict, inner conflict. And therefore it becomes difficult to manifest your goals because there is this conflict going on. Part of you is believing and part of you is not believing, and whenever your willpower is low and you stop believing in it, and boom, you go back to your old habits again and old ways of doing things. A classical example is with people trying to change their eating habits because they want to lose weight. Right? They believe that maybe eating healthy food or salads is good for them, but a greater part of their energy field believes that the junk food or the unhealthy food that you're eating is way more enjoyable and fun than eating the salad, right? After all, you're not a rabbit. So
Yeah.
eating this may not come naturally to you. So
And
I think,
And it's super interesting to think that, even though we're aware that we're trying to transition into this other thing, because of our subconscious, like you said, it's so engraved enough. So it's about going a little deeper and figuring out how to talk and speak to that subconscious so that we can, start forming and getting out of some of those beliefs that we had. And I think this makes a full circle around to our very first topic, which was all about loving yourself unconditionally. And I remember focusing on especially the internal conversations that you have with yourself, and
yeah,
really starting from there.
exactly. Because we are all of us trying to go through life just doing things consciously, but actually your subconscious is the one which is running your life. The subconscious is the one where your beliefs are stored. And the subconscious doesn't like to rationalize. So really you cannot rationalize your beliefs away. So we try all these positive affirmations and we are trying so hard to make changes by doing this affirmation over and over again. But if you can find a way to directly get into your computer, the biggest computer you have between your ears, and try to change that computer, then you don't need that much willpower. Because once your subconscious starts believing in something, it'll push you. It's like those people who are into fitness, for example. They believe it at a subconscious level. So it doesn't matter whether it's raining or the weather is bad. They have no excuses. They just go and get their fitness done, right? It's because subconscious kind of drives you to go there. It's like if you want your first cup of coffee in the morning before you start your work day, right? So even if you're getting late, you're going to go get that first cup of coffee, right? But if somebody were to ask you, Julie, can you do this other work before you start working? You say, no, I'm getting late. I can't do it, right? But you'll go get your coffee. Why? Because your subconscious is ingrained to think that without coffee, your day is not going to go well. So it's going to push you to do it. So I think that is the power of the subconscious mind, that if you can make your subconscious believe in things, then you will achieve your results way faster. Right? So believing in yourself also connected to trusting yourself. When you believe in yourself, you will trust yourself more and more. Right? So it comes back to the first statement is, what is your story? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Because you can start enhancing your strengths by actually thinking about it more deeply, right? Otherwise, it's superficial. I might think, oh, I'm a great friend. right? That's my strength because I'm very good with being friends. But you have to start thinking about it more deeply. You have to start observing your action to say, are you really that? Because then you will come to know whether your subconscious is believing that or not,
Yeah.
right? And the way to access subconscious is one of the ways, easier ways to handle is just by relaxation. So when you're calm and relaxed, you can talk to your subconscious. You can be aware of the feelings inside of you. You can be aware of what, if I'm thinking of a goal, what does my body tell me? Does it tighten up? Does it become stiff? Or, it's giving me some feelings around that goal that I'm trying to set. That'll give an indication of what's going on within you. Right? So when you believe in something, then you're going to trust yourself more. When you trust yourself more, it's easier to manifest your goals. Right? So it's all interlinked. So this time of the year when we are setting goals, take a moment to think, why I want to lose weight because I want to be happy. Hey, there are a lot of people who have the ideal weight that you're desiring. Are they all happy? Right? Then we have to kind of think about our goal a little more deeply and say, maybe the objective of losing weight is not just to be happy. It is something way bigger. Maybe it's to, whatever your reasons are. Right?
Yeah.
So unless you can tune your energy field into the goal that you want in as much depth as you can, easier it will become for you to manifest your goal.
Yeah.
But if your conscious mind wants one thing, but your subconscious wants another thing, it's going to be harder and harder to reach your goals.
Yeah.
Right? So many times we believe that we can, like, for example, when I shifted careers in 2007, 2008, part of me was still used to identifying myself as a project manager, program manager, because that's what I had been doing for a few decades. And then when I shifted into hypnotherapy, it was so hard for me to accept myself as a hypnotherapist, right? Because I just didn't believe that I was a hypnotherapist. It was a new career change for me, and I wasn't very in tune with it. Right?
Yeah.
So even though consciously I wanted to shift careers and I wanted to establish myself as a hypnotherapist, subconsciously I was resisting it because it wasn't in an alignment. So then I had to work really hard within myself, going into my subconscious mind and changing that identity. And actually it took me about a year because I just didn't want to change the identity. Because I really didn't want a career change. It's the universe that pushed me to make a career change. And for that, I thank the universe every day because I so very much love this career.
The phrase that comes to mind is what you resist persists. And
Something
sometimes
is.
it's the exact opposite of, we're resisting something so much. We're seeing it as this blockage that instead of going into the side of the positive side of believing in ourselves, we're actually redefining the story that we tell ourselves. Like, for example, I'm not ready to change careers or change businesses. So it's also, the aspect of letting go of some of that resistment and going into more believing in yourself so that you can, shift and have your identity follow you with the new choices or the new path that you want to take.
Yeah, and that is requires work and effort, because people are so used to rushing into things without stopping to think whether they really truly believe in what they're trying to accomplish, that they don't realize they'll have to work so much harder to accomplish what they want. It's like doing prep work. If I want to have a beautiful garden in summer, then I have to do prep work in spring to get my soil ready so that I can plant seeds and they'll grow to be strong plants, right? If you want to do painting, you need to get the walls ready before you can start painting, right? So you require some preparatory work. If you want to get to your goals, then you need to do some work within yourself, right? And that part, I think people don't understand. They're busy doing everything linearly with the mind, right? But the mind is not the one which is manifesting things. It's your subconscious mind, the more powerful computer within you that is helping you manifest, because that's where you record everything, your belief systems, all the negative experiences you had, right? So take a time to just sit, relax, and try to get into a relaxed state, whether it's with music or whether it's through meditation, right? And then think about your goal and then see what feelings your body is showing you, because your feelings are your navigation system in the world. It kind of tells you what's going on within you. So what does your feelings tell you? And then find some technique and tools to kind of work with those feelings and see if you can clean those feelings up, right? And when you can, so that prep work is needed before you start going in the outer world and start taking all the actions. It's like people shifting jobs and they're just going about from one job and they're applying for other jobs straight away, right? But I think important thing is to really believe that you can get a better job. You need to clear up the baggage from the previous job, Because otherwise, like energy attracts like energy. So if you're all stressed up in your current job, and then in the energy of stress, you're looking for a new job, you're going to manifest a job which is again going to create stress, right? Because like energy attracts like energy. That's a spiritual law, and then we keep talking about it over and over again in many of our episodes. So if you really want to move into a better job, then get yourself in the better energy, the energy that you want in a new job. So if you want to have a job which is calm and relaxed, then figure out how to remain calm and relaxed and then apply for jobs. Because in that calm energy, you're going to attract the right people and resources that are going to help you manifest the right job.
Yeah.
And that's true for the relationship too, right?
Yeah. And it's all about kind of looking at it from two perspectives. There's an external work that you're doing, and there's an internal work that you're doing, and it's that inner work that, you know, even though in the moment maybe you feel like you're not really moving ahead, is actually moving you ahead by a lot. So being comfortable and like sitting with yourself in that inner work and working on the certain aspects that really matter to you actually will propel you way, you know, faster than just looking to take action too quickly. So going back into the believing in yourself and seeing what it is internally that you have to kind of figure out and understand.
And you know, Julie, that's something so powerful that you mentioned. You know, just and I think if people can take time to really think about what you said, they will realize that in the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. So if your inner world is in turmoil, you're going to find more and more turmoil in the outer world too, right? So before you start your goal, do some prep work to see, are you really believing in that? Do you really believe that this goal is going to give you what you ask for? It's like, be careful what you dream about. Right? Because sometimes people so believe in, you know, this is what I want to achieve, and then when they achieve it, they still don't find the fulfillment in it, right? Because so when you believe in yourself, you're not going to try to mimic anybody else. You're going to just be your own authentic self, because no two fingerprints are alike in the world. So really, you don't have to compete with anybody else in the world. You are a unique signature. You are a unique energy field. So find your way of achieving your success. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can achieve the success you desire in your own way versus trying to mimic somebody else, right? So that whole thing about competition goes away when you're not trying to compete with anybody else. You're saying, you know what? These are my gifts and these are my strengths. And this is how I'm going to take my strengths out into the world and manifest what I want, right? So believing in yourself is way more than just thinking I believe in something. It's actually believing with your entire energy field. So that your 70% to 90% of nonverbal communication also says, yes, I believe in this.
Yeah.
Right?
And we talked a lot about awareness too, and I think you can apply awareness in each area of your life. And it's the same thing here. When you find yourself going into the patterns of not necessarily believing in yourself or not feeling good enough, it's being able to catch yourself and realize, oh, it's my subconscious here working again against me and making me take actions that are actually against what I truly want. So can you be aware in those moments and catch yourself procrastinating or catch yourself doubting yourself, and realize and you know, acknowledge that it's just my programming that has done this way, and now that I have the awareness, what can I do about it?
Exactly. And that's important. First step is the awareness. And as we discussed, just that awareness itself starts shifting your energy positively. Because most of the time we are acting robotically, right? We're just doing the same thing over and over again. And even science has proven that we are pretty much robotic 90% of the time during the day, sometimes 99%. We just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So we lose awareness when we are being robotic. So when you come back to, and awareness will only come when you still yourself, calm yourself down, just bring yourself in a calm state. Then you're more aware of your surroundings. Then you're more aware of your feelings. Then you're more aware of what's going on in your environment. Right? Yeah. So believing in yourself. So yourself is you. That means you have to be with you to believe in you. Right? You need to understand that you are the main character of this play called life. You're not a side character. You need to take the leading role in there. Right? When you believe in yourself, you're not going to give your power away to others. But when you don't believe in yourself, you'll end up giving your power away. And you start thinking, oh, she's better than me, so I need to listen to what she says or he says, right? So you start accepting others as leaders, and instead of accepting that others are partners with you because they are helping you manifest your life.
Yeah.
And giving your power away, I think, is a whole episode we could do.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd love to go deeper too, in the next episode where we discuss believing in yourself and the fact that there's some negative beliefs that are associated to us, such as feeling not good enough, feeling not worthy enough, feeling not
Mhm.
deserving, and how when we have those emotions or those beliefs, each action actually, subconsciously is geared towards feeling that you're not good enough or not worthy enough, and is actually preventing you from going farther into what it is that you actually want. But again, it's going back into that cycle and that programming of what we're used to. We're used to feeling not good enough. Therefore, all our actions that we take must be aligned to, those things. So now that you're aware of it, going the next level, like you were talking about, working with that subconscious and figuring out how to start breaking apart those beliefs so that they don't drive our lives.
Yeah, yeah. And therefore, believe in yourself is really believing in yourself at deeper and deeper levels, right? We are reiterating that, not just believing with your mind, but actually reflecting, taking. Sometimes it's nice to just sit quietly and say, okay, this is my goal. What does that goal feel like? What if you achieved your goal just now? What would your life change? Right? Then you might come to know whether your goal is actually helping you reach reach your the things that you want to achieve, right? Whether it's happiness, joy, whether it's more money, right? But maybe sometimes we say, oh, I want a promotion at work and I'm kind of waiting for a promotion and I really want it so much. So we are kind of dreaming of that. But we're not reflecting to see what does that promotion mean to you. And then suddenly you'll end up getting the promotion. You somehow manifested the dream. And now you are finding that you have way more responsibility. Your life is balance is gone because there is too much work and less play, right? So be careful. Take a moment and sit quietly and say, okay, now I got my promotion. So what is my life going to look like? What things are going to change in my life? What are the belief systems I'm holding? Am I believing that with the promotion also I'll have a good balance of life and work? Right? Or am I believing that with the promotion I'll be able to enjoy more vacations because I'll be earning more, but maybe you don't get time to enjoy more vacations, right? So you have to tune into your instincts. You have to develop your instincts more and more. Then you'll come to know what you're believing in, truly believing in. And
Yeah.
instinct is also like a muscle. You have to train and work at it. You have to know when you follow your instincts, how do you feel? When you don't follow your gut feelings, how do you feel? So that you can distinguish between when are you following your instincts and when you're not. Because most of the time when you're not following your instincts, you're going to have feeling of powerlessness, helplessness, like lack of self-esteem. Or maybe there is an emotional pain involved when you don't follow your gut feeling, as your gut says do this, but you're not doing it because your mind says, no, 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 this is the way to do things, right? So
Yeah.
you may even have physical pain, right? Like I remember you talking sometimes that how your stomach cramps up when
Yeah.
something is going to happen, or you can feel it in your guts that this is not the right approach.
And it's
Mm.
almost using all of those cues or all of those little pings at you, whether it's through your body, how you're feeling it in your stomach, or the thoughts that come up, and being able to kind of invite those thoughts in and go into the process of figuring out what those mean to you and how it relates to believing in yourself, versus just brushing it off and saying, oh, I'll deal with this later, I'll deal with this later. I think believing in yourself is that intuition muscle that you build of that internal conversation you have and continuing to figure out what it is your heart truly wants. Or is it something that, like you said, it's just a goal that you don't really know why you're going towards that goal?
Exactly. So it comes back to the awareness we talked about in the earlier sessions, talks about accepting yourself and knowing truly your strengths, right? We don't really know our strengths so well, right? Sometimes you don't realize how much wisdom you have. Sometimes you don't realize how much strength you have. So sometimes going back and reflecting to incidents in your life when you exhibited a lot of strength might help you get in touch with the strength within you. Then you can actually start believing that, yeah, I'm a strong person versus just thinking I'm a strong person and then something happens in your life and then you just crumble, right? And then you forget that you have the strength within you, right? So you forget that you don't believe that you have the strength to cope with the situation. So that one of the techniques you can use there is go back into your life. I'm sure we all have experiences where we've exhibited strength. Right? And then you can actually get in touch with those feelings of strength that you had when you were going through that situation. And the more you get in touch with them, the more you're bringing it out into your consciousness so that you can apply it in your real world now. Right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we bury our feelings so deep inside that we lose track of it.
Yeah.
And we don't even know we have it. So
Yeah.
Just by going back and reviewing those situations in your life, you're actually bringing it all the way back up again. So now you can go back and say, yeah, I'm pretty strong. I did 4 times in my life I can remember that I was able to uh, go past the negative situation and exhibited strength. So that means I'm powerful enough, and maybe that means that I can do this also.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you agree? Sometimes bringing
Yeah.
the resource back from within you.
And I, it makes me think of an exercise that even I've done a lot of times, where you go back
Hmm.
into the past of a negative event, and you kind of wash away the emotions and take the lessons, but then sort of let go of the negative feelings that you have toward that. And even what you were saying about, remembering the past. I remember I did an exercise where I actually wrote to my, self 10 years ago, and it's almost like you feel the transition and the transformation that you've made, and then to be able to go back and almost, heal your past self and kind of have that internal conversation. I think that's also believing in yourself, because you're just looking at the vast change and transformation that you've made, and creating that bond with almost, your younger self, like, hey, good job, you've gone through all of this, you're resilient, you did this and you brought me here today. So there's this level of gratitude that you also bring into the picture.
And it's also a way of cleaning up your energies within. Because all the negativity that you're holding from your past experiences is bringing the frequency of your energy field down. And then if you're trying to manifest a loftier goal, it's going to be very difficult, because a bigger goal requires you to be at a higher level of frequency. Right. So sometimes, yeah, cleansing work is also required. The inner work, I don't think you can escape the inner work, to be honest, because you have to do that inner work so that life becomes easier, not working harder and harder like a donkey. You are kind of looking smarter and smarter, because you're saying, okay, to manifest this goal, these are the things within me, beliefs that I'm holding, that I'm contradicting this. So I'm starting a new business and I want to be an entrepreneur, for example. And within me are all these belief systems that people said, you know what, you can, Julie or Karuna, you can never be a good businesswoman because you don't have the skills for it. People say that those kinds of things to you when you're growing up, and then you kind of start believing in that.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to start a business and you say, I'm holding those belief systems. Maybe I need to go, or I'm holding belief systems that I'm not good enough. Oh, it's so difficult to start a business, right? It's like when my kids were in school, and when they were going to start maths, I don't know in which grade that was, but very young grade. And they have this parent-teacher conference, and the first thing the teacher says to all the parents is, oh, maths is a very tough subject. And I'm like, there, you already created a belief within the parents and within the kids that it's a tough subject. And now the kid is going to struggle learning maths because you created this belief system at a young age. So a lot of our beliefs are formed before the ages of 8 to 12. And we are very susceptible and vulnerable to people in authority and what they say to us. And then these belief systems continue to affect our progress as a human being in achieving the life we want to live. Right. Therefore, I think with hypnosis, you can actually regress back, and you can actually go ahead and superimpose better belief systems and allow your supercomputer to figure out what all needs cleansing. So it's not like psychology. You're not really going to do psychoanalysis on yourself. That takes forever, right? But this is like creating a new belief system and allowing that belief system to override all the belief systems, and allowing a supercomputer to do it, not doing it with the mind, but allowing that computer to clear up all those things, right?
Yeah.
And knowing that you're good enough, like you started with, having the belief that I'm good enough to, because you're the center of your universe, basically. This is your life, right? And we forget that. We keep giving our power away to others, not realizing this is my life and I'm allowed to manifest whatever I want in my life. And having the courage to say, you know what, sometimes I'm going to use paths which others haven't gone on, create my own path and do things my way, right? So when you believe in yourself, when you love yourself enough, you say, you know what, this is who I am. If you don't like it, sorry, but this is who I am.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you don't like my face? Sorry, God created this face. Go have a conversation with God about it.
Yeah,
But I believe,
it
yeah, I
brings
believe
out
that I love myself.
yeah, it brings out the authenticity. Again, living aligned with your values, so that you just like everything's going along your way, and even manifesting. Like when you start believing in yourself, things naturally start coming to you. But it's only when deeper into that you start manifesting those things. As long as you still have those negative beliefs that are holding you back, you can't fully dream into believing those things. So being able to go there is super powerful.
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to start inner work first. If you really have goals, like we are all going to create goals for, not all, but many of us like to create goals for the new year 2022. But I think it's a good, important exercise to do is sit back in this month and figure out all your strengths and weaknesses and figure out what is it that you want in the next year. It doesn't have to be lofty goals. It could be, I want to be more happy next year. Right now, if you want more happiness in your next year in your life, then start building that happiness in your energy field now. Find joy in small, small things. Be like a hummingbird. I love hummingbirds. Yeah, they're like picking small, 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 small bits of sweetness from every little flower here and there, right? So they are like and tireless. They have so much persistence, right? So it's like, can we take pleasure from small, small things in life? Should we wait to buy that big car to feel happy? Can we find happiness in the smaller things in life? Right.
Yeah.
So when you build up the happiness energy within you, then you're going to manifest it. You don't have to work at it. You're like a magnet for happiness. Why? Because your energy is happy all the time. So you're just going to bring happiness wherever you go. Right. I was talking to somebody last night, a client of mine. She came over and I was talking to her and she was asking me some questions about my life. And I was telling her, I'm so happy about it. But she's like, Karuna, wherever you go, you're going to be happy because you just are happy. And I said, that's what it is. That's working smart versus working hard. Right? Because if you're in that half empty or half full cup, if you look at a cup half empty, then you're going to, the word empty itself has low vibration, lower vibration. So you're going to not allow yourself to see the positive in a situation. But if you look at a cup half full and you believe that half full is not bad, and half full is, I still have half a glass, then you're going to be in a positive frame of mind. You'll be in a hopeful frame of mind, and then you can fill up your cup better.
Yeah.
Right?
It's letting go of what you're resisting and going more and inviting more of what you're really ready to bring into your life and seeing it from that perspective. Well, Karuna, and thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a great live, and our next one will not be next week, but the week after, just so you guys know. And I think, Karuna, we're going to continue going deeper into those limiting beliefs as far as, feeling not good enough, which I think is probably one of the biggest negative beliefs that we have as a society. And anything you'd like to, add or before we end our call?
I think the technique that we are teaching in this call is relax first and then think about whatever actions you want to take in life. Because in a state of relaxation, you can make better decisions. You can think better, right? So find ways to relax because that should be a foundation on which you're going to build everything else next year or in your life coming forward. In a relaxed state, and that is the alpha frequency of the brain, you can definitely create better goals. Right? When you're rushed and we're rushing through life, you're not able to really think deeply. Right? So relax and think before you act. Yeah, right, Catherine. A person who put that in. That's true. That's what they're saying. Yeah, relax and think before you act. Okay, so take the step to pause. Still, learn stillness in the coming year. That would be great if we can have a world where people are more relaxed instead of so much stress and anxiety. Right? Learn tools. Right? You can go way further in life when you take better quality decisions, when you take better actions, which are more aligned with what you want, right? I'm stressed out and then I'm running after doing more and more things. But the stress energy is energy which is draining me, making my energy weaker. I can't move forward faster. So even though my logical mind says you're working, and you're going to get results, you're not really working. Maybe you're spinning your wheels. Right? Instead, relax, calm down, offload some of your responsibilities, then move forward. With less load on your back, you can move forward faster. Yeah. So relax and then believe in yourself. Think about your beliefs and think about it deeper so that you start really, truly believing in it. Yeah. And we want to wish all of you a very, very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and believe in magic. I think that's a great belief to have. Magical things happen around the world. You've seen that in medical industry. A lot of people heal without any reason. They just magically heal, right? It has happened so many times. That means magic is possible. So this is a great month to start believing in magic. Allow magic to enter your life. And you will see beautiful things happen because magic means something positive and beautiful. So thank you. And we will meet on January 5th because of the holidays right now. So next weekend we are not able to meet. But see you guys in the new year 2022. If you have topics you want us to talk about, feel free to let us know. And I do post these videos also on YouTube. So if you go to my channel, Karuna Healing Center, it's available there because I know that many friends of mine are also not on Instagram. A lot of people are not don't have an account on Instagram. So you can tell them that they can go to YouTube and check it out. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie, for doing this. And everybody have a wonderful, wonderful end of the year. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, everyone. Make sure you drop your insights in the comments, and any questions you have, we'll address it in the next live. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys later. Have a good holiday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.